we're going to be showing you how to make some vanilla ice cream. The process is pretty simple, but I wanted to be able to show you guys how to make it, so whenever you are at home and you have a little bit of time, you can make some vanilla ice cream. So the first thing that we have to do here is what we call scalding the milk. And we used to scald milk because it was not pasteurized, and so it had bacteria in it. And this was a way that we could eliminate the bacteria. It brings it up to a temperature high enough to kill the bacteria. But today, the other reason that we do it is to melt the sugar, so that it brings up that temperature high enough so that the sugar will, once it gets into this warmed milk, it will dissolve quickly. And the way that you can tell that it's scalded is when around this edge will develop little tiny bubbles. And that's when you'll know that it's scalded. It's just getting there, starting, but we're not quite there yet. So while that's still doing that, we're gonna get our other ingredients ready. So involved in the recipe today, we have vanilla, heavy cream, some milk, some half and half, which is actually a combination of half whole milk and half heavy cream, some sugar, and some salt. So while this other stuff is mixing or getting warmed up, I'm going to mix these ingredients together. So I'm going to put a teaspoon of salt into our sugar, which I already have measured out. So when that goes into that scalded milk, that'll be all ready to go. So that's going to go in there. The other things that I need 4 cups of half and half. So I'm going to put that in my bowl. I have 4 cups of that. Get it up to the line. Okay, 4 cups of half and half, a teaspoon or a tablespoon of vanilla extract. That's actually 2 tablespoons, I'm sorry. And I need 8 cups of heavy cream. I don't think my container is going to be quite big enough today to do all this in. I'm going to have to get another container, I think. Maybe not. Let's see. No, we're going to need another one. Let me get a pot out here. Pour all this right in here. And we need to add the other 4 cups of heavy cream to this. So we have 8 cups of heavy cream, 4 cups of half and half, 2 tablespoons of vanilla, okay, and let's look here. So see here, you can see those little tiny bubbles starting to form around the edge there. That means that our milk is nice and heated up. So I can go ahead and turn that off. I'm going to add my sugar and my salt to that. And I'm just going to stir this until it's dissolved. You can kind of hear that grittiness going on down in there. That just tells me that it's not all dissolved yet. You can kind of feel it around. But it doesn't take long because that milk is heated up for that to dissolve. There we go. You can feel it getting all smoothed out there. All right. I'm going to take this milk and sugar and add it to my other dairy products. Now comes the waiting. This has to be chilled before I can put it in my ice cream maker. So I'm going to throw this in the refrigerator, let it chill for a couple of hours, and then we'll get it processing in our ice cream maker. Okay guys, so The vanilla ice cream mixture has chilled, and I'm going to show you how to set it up in the ice cream bucket. So I have this little paddle here that will spin with the motor. I have a little lid that fits on top of there, and my motor is here, and that fits on top of the ice cream bucket, but this little attachment here has to line up with my bucket. So I kind of have to spin that around on there until it lines up the right way. And it just kind of snaps into place there. And then I plug that in and the motor starts. And once that motor starts, I can start adding my ice and salt. And it's just layers of ice and salt. And believe it or not, the salt is what makes the ice colder and allows the ice cream to start to freeze in the bucket. So I'm going to show you how these layers go here. So I'm just going to put some ice in to start. I kind of spread that out a little bit so it's pretty even in there. And then I'm going to put a little bit of this salt in there. It's made for ice cream makers, but you can just use regular rock salt that you would put on your driveway to melt the ice in the winter. And you just want to put a little layer between each layer of ice. And I just want to get enough ice in there to the top of my ice cream mixture. I don't want to cover that bucket because when it starts to melt, I want it to not leak into my ice cream because salt water and ice cream don't work very well together. So that's all there is to it. So I'm going to leave that set, continue to churn. It'll take about 45 minutes, and once it starts to freeze up, the motor will start to slow down, and that's when you know that your ice cream is done churning. And then I'll show you what we do after that. Okay, so the churning has come to a stop on the motor. So I unplugged it. And I'm going to take this out. You can see that it's nearly full to the top. And this is our lovely ice cream. So now I will just take that out of there and put it in containers and put it in the freezer to let it harden up a little bit more. So you can see I've put it into the bucket. We have nice, smooth, creamy ice cream. I'll put this in the freezer to harden overnight, and tomorrow we will have nice, scoopable vanilla ice cream.